Let's play a game. How many Ballon d'Ors did Messi rob? Answer in the comments. I'm going to assume you said 2. I'm here to tell you that you've been lied to. From 2009 to 2023, Messi has excelled as the top performer in nearly every year. The media and Ronaldo fanboys have put a spell on you. You see, Messi is so brilliant that his consistency seemed normal. It meant the expectations for him were even higher. Messi made scoring 50 goals in a single league campaign seem ordinary. Can you see any of the current players scoring 50 in a single league campaign while dribbling and creating chances? Many say the Ballon d'Or is a popularity contest. They claim FIFA has its favorites. This is somewhat true, but I have a strong conviction that Messi did not scam any. He was better. This video will analyze Messi's 8 Ballon d'Or wins. We'll check if he deserved it by looking at his competitors. Don't skip 2021. Sorry Sneijder, Van Dijk, and Lewandowski fans in advance. We begin in 2008-2009. This is where the Messi versus Ronaldo debate started. Both were the best performing players for the best 2 club sides in the world. The team gifted Messi the number 10 jersey after they sold Ronaldinho. This faith from Pep Guardiola showed that he saw Messi as the main man to lead them into the new era. FC Barcelona's 2008-09 season was the most incredible in their history. They became the first Spanish team to win the coveted treble of La Liga, the Champions League, and the Copa del Rey. The team's success came from perfect teamwork. But many stellar individual performances helped, too. The most memorable was Andres Iniesta's stunning, injury-time equalizer at Stamford Bridge. It sent Barcelona to the Champions League final. But there was one player who stole the show throughout the course of the season. One little Argentine wizard who dominated proceedings from start to finish. Lionel Messi. The statistics of Messi's dominance are staggering indeed. Messi contributed 38 goals with 24 assists in all competitions. That makes him responsible for 62 of the team's 156 goals in all competitions. He was also the Champions League's top scorer with 9 goals. But the statistics are not the only measure of Leo's brilliance throughout the season. He has risen to the occasion in almost every big match. In the first El Clasico at the Camp Nou, Messi was tactically fouled by Real Madrid. They saw this as the only way to stop him. But it was Leo who sealed the game with a delicate chip over Casillas' head, which had Cannavaro crashing into the post, trying to keep it out. Against Lyon and Bayern Munich, in the Champions League round of 16 and quarterfinals respectively, Messi was devastating. In the 2 home games, Messi scored 3 goals and made 2 assists as Barcelona demolished the French champions 5-2 and the German champions 4-0. In the second Clásico at the Santiago Bernabéu, Messi was in his element. In a new, false 9 role, Messi tore apart Madrid's slow central defenders. He scored 2 goals and made 1 exquisite assist to round off a superb Barcelona performance that saw them run out 6-2 winners. In a dying moment against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, it was Messi who supplied the fateful pass to Iniesta. Iniesta buried it in the top corner to send Barcelona to Rome. The highlight of the season was the Champions League final in Rome against Manchester United. Many people had billed this as a Lionel Messi versus Cristiano Ronaldo clash. However, when the match started, it was obvious who was in control: Messi. His dribbling through the center of the park often forced the Manchester United defenders to foul him in 3s and 4s. And each time after he was brought down, Messi was first to his feet and ready to run more. He capped his performance with a superb header from Xavi's cross. It left Van der Sar stranded and horrified the Manchester United fans. Barcelona won that match 2-0 and consequently lifted the 3rd trophy to complete their treble. Other notable performances include a hat-trick and a 3-1 win over Atletico Madrid. He scored 2 goals after coming off the bench to secure a 2-1 win over Racing. In the Copa del Rey final, he scored 1 goal and made 2 assists. Despite suffering an injury for 3 months during the 2007-8 season, Messi finished as the runner-up for the Ballon d'Or. He also exhausted Manchester United while his thighs were heavily bandaged. Unfortunately, he was the only Barcelona player in form that night. The team was dumped out of the Champions League 1-0 on aggregate. Argentina coach Diego Maradona has said that Messi is his direct successor. Marcelo Lippi, Jurgen Klinsmann, Guus Hiddink, and Alex Ferguson all agree. There is no player like Lionel Messi in the world today. And the most frightening thing for the opposition is that Messi was only 21. There is no question about who deserves to win the Ballon d'Or award in 2009. After winning the Champions League, La Liga, and Copa del Rey, it would be a major shock if anyone, but Lionel Messi lifted the trophy. He had 38 goals and 24 assists. 2010 is where the controversy starts. It was a World Cup year, and Messi's first World Cup as the main man of his national side, Argentina. They were one of the favorites, but Argentina got pumped 4-0 by Germany. This was a huge blow. Many Ballon d'Or winners base their achievements on the World Cup. Messi did not win the Champions League, losing to Inter Milan in the semi-finals. According to many fans, they believe Wesley Sneijder should have won the Ballon d'Or as he won the treble with Inter. But there's a problem with this thinking. Sneijder didn't even win Inter Player of the Year. If he wasn't the best at his club, why should he win the Ballon d'Or? The reason Messi won the Ballon d'Or is that he put in the performance of the year versus Arsenal in the Champions League last 8. In football, few performances are so breathtaking, they leave one dumbfounded. One of Lionel Messi's best nights in the Champions League, his whole career, will always be a competition highlight. After a 2-2 draw at the Emirates, the Catalans welcomed the Gunners to the Camp Nou. On that warm Tuesday, Arsenal hadn't read the script. They took the lead through Bentner on 19 minutes. It was the only time the North Londoners led over the two legs. The advantage lasted for a short duration of 2 minutes. Barca re-seized the initiative with determination after dominating the early exchanges. Pedro worked the ball inside to Messi from the right, though his attempted pass into Xavi could only find Michael Silvestre. The ball fell kindly to the Argentine. From just inside the D, his left-footed exocet shot past Manuel Almunia and into the top corner. The roar that greeted the goal was almost primal. Camp Nou's 100,000 fans rose as one to acclaim the best player in the world at that moment. Messi, Messi, Messi rang out from the Blaugrana's very own chorus line. Pedro was again involved in the build-up for the second, with the visitors simply too labored in their defensive work. Messi was halfway between the Arsenal area and the halfway line. He passed to Eric Abidal, who had made a run from the left-back position. His low cross was cleared. Pedro reacted quickest to the loose ball. It was here that the Argentines' quick thinking and speed shone. An unchecked run had taken him to the penalty spot. His momentum took him past Silvestre. As Almunia rushed out, a right-footed shot flew past him. This sent the Blaugrana into the lead on the night and in the tie. With 8 minutes until the break, Arsenal needed to avoid damage until the dressing room. But worse was to follow for them, and it was the crowning glory for La Pulga. Thomas Vermaelen had wildly misjudged a clearing header in the center circle, allowing Seydou Keita to nod the ball into Messi's path. Arsenal had played an absurdly high line, and it left the number 10 through on goal, despite being closer to his own half than the opposition box. The finish, arriving seconds later, was audacious, brilliant, and mesmerizing in its effect. As Messi raced away from the defense, Almunia stood, bolt upright, at the penalty spot. This narrowed the angle. It looked impossible to score, and was really going to require something extra special to beat the keeper. The delicate chip that the Argentinian placed over the Spaniard's head drew gasps from the stands. So exquisite was the execution. Applause seemed endless as teammates surrounded Messi, who shared their awe. At the opposite end of the pitch, Victor Valdés and Gabriel Milito were in rapture. In 21 minutes, Messi's first goal had crushed the third-place Premier League team. It would leave Arsène Wenger regretting a TV interview at halftime. The Frenchman had to admit, with reluctance, that his team was being torn apart by the best player on the planet. A nutmeg goal, to round off the evening, was in keeping with what had gone before. This was the game that kicked off the GOAT shouts. Messi ended the season as the Champions League and European Golden Boot top scorer, 2010/11. There was zero competition. The greatest Champions League campaign ever? Possibly. The greatest final performance ever? I think so. His performance was so good, he left the great Sir Alex Ferguson shaking. Other season highlights include a stunning solo goal versus Real Madrid in the Champions League semis, and a slow-motion walk after decimating them in a 5-0 man-of-the-match performance where he didn't even score. Some argue this is his best season. It is definitely his best dribbling season. Argentina did get knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Copa America at home. In 2012, Leo scored a record 91 goals for Barcelona and Argentina. This smashed Gerd Müller's 1972 mark of 85 for Bayern Munich and West Germany. Now, Messi's club side may have had a disappointing end to the 2011-12 campaign. They finished second to Real Madrid in La Liga and lost to Chelsea in the Champions League semi-finals. But Messi was neither underwhelmed nor disappointed. But I didn't realize quite how bonkers Messi's year was until I broke down the numbers. To start, Messi's 91 goals upped Müller's record by about 7%. That would be like Miguel Cabrera breaking Barry Bonds' one-season home run record of 73. And not by a home run or two, but by 5, for a new total of 78. That would be impressive. Leo scored 91 total goals in 69 official games, 79 in 60 appearances for the Blaugrana, and 12 in 9 matches for the Albiceleste. The math is easy enough. That's an average of 1.319 goals per game. While it's not quite up to Müller's average of 1.417, 85 goals in 60 matches back in 72, it ain't half bad. Messi's tally of 91 goals in 69 matches, though, gets more impressive when you look at it under several other lights. According to ESPN count of Messi's playing time in 2012, that's an average of 1 goal every 66 minutes he was on the pitch. Racing Santander, I repeat, the entire team, scored 28 goals in 38 La Liga games in 2011-12. That's an average of 1 goal every 122 minutes. So, you realize how ridiculous Messi's total is. Messi's 2012 goal total is better than 13 La Liga teams from the 2011-12 campaign. He scored 78 of his 91 goals inside the penalty area, including 14 penalties. He converted all 10 of his La Liga penalties and 2 of his 3 tries in Champions League play. The miss was huge. It would have given Barcelona the lead in the Champions League semi-final versus Chelsea. Chelsea survived Barca's onslaught to reach the final and win the title. In any given game, Messi was far more likely to score many goals than no goals at all. He scored exactly twice in 22 games, matching the number of games that shut him out. He added 9 hat tricks. This included 2 4-goal games. It also included a Champions League record 5 goals against Bayer Leverkusen in March. Messi opened the scoring in 21 of the 47 games in which he scored. He scored 59% of his goals after halftime. He scored most in the 76th to 90th minutes. In fact, he scored 40 of his 91 goals in the last half hour of games. Messi ended the season with another European Golden Boot. Xavi and Iniesta had a case for the Ballon d'Or after Euro 2012. But playing alongside Messi at club level means you get outshined week in, week out. 2014/15. Messi lost the World Cup final in 2014 and the Ballon d'Or too. He responded by having the most complete season of his career. He was not only the best scorer and dribbler, but he was also now the best playmaker too. He formed the most fearsome trio ever seen in the club game with Neymar and Suarez. They won another treble. Messi scored what many consider the most audacious goal ever. He dropped a world-class Jerome Boateng and chipped the best keeper, Manuel Neuer. He even scored the goal that won Barcelona La Liga versus Atletico Madrid. He did yet lose a Copa America with Argentina versus Chile. But his club season was better than everyone else's. So this Ballon d'Or was a no contest. 2019 is arguably the most controversial one. Messi did not win the Champions League or Copa America, having lost to Brazil and bottled a 3-0 lead versus Liverpool. He managed to win it based on his club form. In 2019, Barcelona was much weaker, but Messi won the league and the European Golden Shoe, beating Mbappé. In the Liverpool tie, his teammates let Messi down, but he was still the best player in the world that season. Virgil van Dijk and Sadio Mane had strong cases to win it, with Van Dijk only 7 points away in voting. 2019 was arguably the last classic Messi season we ever saw. 2021 was a little bit controversial, but understandable why he won. In the calendar year 2021, he was superb. He scored in almost every game for the weakest Barcelona teams in 20 years. He also won the Copa America, his first trophy with Argentina, versus arch rivals Brazil in enemy territory. Phenomenal achievement. The tournament at Copa America awarded me the title of Player of the Tournament. Many will say Lewandowski should have won this one. But he had few memorable matches and was knocked out of the Champions League early. In international tournament years, being from a small nation means it's nearly impossible to win it. Benzema and Mbappe had strong cases too. But they didn't win their leagues and got knocked out of the Euros early. Throughout the whole calendar year, was Messi the best? I'd say no, but the other candidates were not aggressive enough, and Messi won an international trophy as the best player of the tournament. 2022/2023, Messi had done the unthinkable and won the FIFA 2022 World Cup with Argentina. After so many final losses, he finally took his nation to the promised land, even scoring 7 goals in the tournament, winning player of the tournament, and scoring a brace in the final. The goal against Mexico, for me, was the most important goal of his career. Argentina was on the verge of exiting the group stage, but he changed their destiny. With all these achievements, why would anyone think it is controversial that he won? Well, in 2010, he won it without having a good World Cup. And now that Messi won the World Cup, he wins. At times, it does feel like someone makes up the rules as they go along. Also, Messi did not have a great club season in Paris. Haaland won the treble and the European Golden Shoe with Manchester City. So, Haaland will feel hard done by. Yet, the best player at the World Cup usually wins the Ballon d'Or. Haaland did not score in the Champions League semi-finals or finals to push his narrative. So, 2023 was technically deserved. Which Messi win was the most controversial? Let us know in the comments. From my perspective, the 2010 Ballon d'Or was Messi's most questionable one, considering Haaland didn't get to win 2023. Anyone who has followed football for 20 years knows Messi's miracles. Every fan's mind holds an endless collection of impossible plays. In them, Messi used his body to do things beyond human imagination. And even if you've been living on another planet, Messi's home before he arrived here, and missed his career, you can find his feats on YouTube. There is a montage of Messi called Best Ball Controls. It has one of his top 20 dribbles, another on his legendary feints, and one of him destroying Bayern Munich. Of course, there is the one that covers his 2007 goal against Getafe, with Diego Maradona's legendary 1986 goal against England. A childhood friend of Messi says in Alex de la Iglesia's 2014 documentary, Messi, he was playing like God, better than us all. He was recalling their days as 10-year-olds playing in Rosario for Argentine club Newell's Old Boys. Messi and his career often evoke this kind of comparison. Many athletes have skills that some say need supernatural language to describe, but It's hard not to see those descriptions as fanciful exaggerations. With Messi, his play and his origins make a religious analogy apt. Some argue, what Messi does is impossible. They say, you can't shoot with greater accuracy from outside the penalty area than many players can from inside it. It's impossible to lead the world in weak kick and long-range goals. It's not possible to score on unassisted plays as well as the best players in the world score on assisted ones. It's not possible to lead the world's forwards, both in taking on defenders and in dishing the ball to others. And it's not possible to do most of these things with significant differences. But Messi does all this and more. Messi is like an AI footballer. Speaking of AI, check out our latest video on how AI is going to take over football.